Hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry for any technical difficulty that I usually have. I'm still trying to figure out how to do things, believe it or not. It's like, aren't we all? Oh my gosh. So, welcome to the talk show. Live? Yeah, live. So we are going to be, like usual, we're going to be talking on, touching on certain subjects and everything like that. But I do have a main subject usually. Tonight, I am talking about something that I actually need y'all's help in trying to figure out. That I've been trying to figure out for a long time now since I purchased a new phone. It is a Google Pixel 9a, very good phone. Um, so the difficulty I'm having with it is the like my wireless microphone, like this, one of these, does not work on the YouTube app. I have tried everything to my knowledge on trying to figure out something, whatever, how to fix it, right? I've tried asking three different um, uh, AIs. One of them I use is Copilot, and I've used Gemini, and I've used Claude. Now I'll get to, let me give you a rundown. Okay. So, and by the way, if there's anybody that can help me, I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. And I would also like to know if anybody else has ran into this problem. I went to the AT&T store. That's who I deal with, AT&T. I love them. They're great. I've had them for a long time. So they have, when I first walked in, the guy was he was the same guy. By the way, his name's Paul. He works at the store on Wendover, off of Wendover. And a great guy, very knowledgeable. And he seemed to use like a lot of common sense. So I told him basically this. So my microphone will only work in the camera app, right? The camera app on the phone, right? In fact, at first it wouldn't automatically switch over, but now it is. Now it's using it as a default. As soon as you plug it in, it recognizes it. That's kind of cool. I like that. So basically I can do that. I can make a video and then post it onto YouTube or wherever, and it works and everything. But if I try to open the YouTube app and try to do a short or a video or a live stream or anything like that, it does not use my microphone. It defaults to the internal microphone every single time. And I can't use that because it is not the same thing as, the microphone effect or whatever, And let's say if I'm way up on the phone, yeah, I guess, whatever. But if I got it out on a stand somewhere and I'm, 10, 20 feet away, I need a microphone, right? So here's what I've done. Okay. So I know there's a lot of techies out there that are all over this, right? But like I said, I have tried to use my 3 AIs. I've tried to Google it. I tried to use YouTube. There is nothing out there. Maybe it's something that's too new. I don't know, but I am the first. When I walked into the store and told the guy, Paul, he said that I was the first, you know. And as excited as I wanted to be, being the first, I was kind of like, well, this sucks. So what he did, I'll start there. What he did was he went in and he found that, okay, so you have YouTube app and then you have YouTube Studios. Okay. So you basically you go into your settings on your phone, right? And you go you click on your apps and then you click on permissions and then you click on microphone. So you got to find the app in there under your settings, right? So I did he did that and he seen where the YouTube that it was being allowed to use my microphone, but then he went into YouTube Studios and it wasn't allowing it. So I'm like, great, we found a problem. Unfortunately, I didn't have my stupid microphone on me, so we couldn't check it there. But anyway, I was like, well, that's got to be it. So I got home, plugged in the microphone. It wasn't it. It didn't work. So, now you're probably asking me, how am I doing this right now? It's because I have another phone that I'm doing this live video on. So on my Google Pixel 9a, it doesn't work. My microphone, external microphone, doesn't work on the YouTube app. Here's what else I've done. Now, listening to AI and all that, they've told me, pretty much the same thing. Every single one of them. I got like 3 of them. So they're like, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Restart my phone. Tried to restart the app. Do updates. Empty a cache. Your cache. I call it cache. Anyway, so emptied that. Okay. And none of it's working. None of it. Right. So it's driving me bonkers. I just want to ram my head into the wall because I'm used to figuring stuff out and I cannot figure this out. And it's just, I'm using every resource that I can. So that's why I'm relying on y'all to help me, and maybe yourself, whatever, but help me figure this problem out. So now if y'all tuning in right now, if y'all have any questions or want to know what the heck is going on, please feel free to ask. Say, hey, what you talking about? Because I know there's people, they jump in right at the last moment and they're kind of like, what are we talking about? So just to give you an update, I'm talking about right now, my main topic. If you got a topic you want to talk about, by the way, let's talk about it, right? If you need to know something, information, let me know. But anyway, what I'm talking about is I've ran into a problem with my Google Pixel 9a phone. The YouTube app, I cannot use my external microphone on the app. It'll work on my regular camera app on my phone. I can record videos with it, blah, 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 blah. But if I open up the YouTube app, it does not, it defaults to the internal microphone of the phone. I've also tried going on to, oh God, hang on just a minute. Let me look it up. So this is my new Google Pixel 9a. Okay. So and this was something that AI told me to do, which I was like, never heard of that. Let's see here. So you go into settings and then you go into, let's see. Well, normally you would go into your apps or whatever, and you want to make sure you got permissions in there, which I did or whatever. But there was something that was kind of like hiding in there. I'm like, what the heck is this AI telling me? Dude, that AI is creepy, man. They are. Let's see here. If I can find it. So it was basically like a how can I say this? It was something that like if you went to the actual phone store, that's what the techs would actually go in and do this. They would actually be like and be like, "What the heck are they doing?" You know, you're not supposed to know. Right? Yeah. But let's see if I can get back into it because the AI was like, "Yeah, you gotta tap on this like 7 times and it opens it up." If you know what I'm talking about, please share. But bear with me. I am trying to find it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you go into, so on your phone, you go into settings, then you click on the system and you click on what is called developer options. Okay. If you don't see that, ask your AI. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it's called. You got to click on something like 7 times. You got to literally go boom, 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 boom. Right. So once you do that, developer options comes on. Okay. And then there's like a ton of stuff listed. But you find, bear with me 1 second. I'm going to tell you what it's called here just in a second. Be patient. So it's called default USB configuration. Okay, we're getting to the nerdy side now. We're getting to the technical side, you know. Okay, so what you're going to see is this. Can you see it? Nope, you can't. Hang on. It's too darn bright. Too darn bright, Rome. Let's see. Can you see that? Sorry if it's backwards. I'll tell you. Okay. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that are listed. Right. All right. So from the top, it's called, you got file transfer / Android Auto. Then you have USB tethering. Then you have MIDI, MIDI, which stands for, hang on. Um, so, musical instrument digital interface. It says on this phone, this setting allows it to connect to musical instruments, synthesizers, or computer music software. Blah 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 blah. So the first thing the AI told me was like, "Hey, you need to click on that," because right now mine is clicked on no data transfer. So anyway, so they were like, "Click on that, and then try it." And I restarted the phone. Also, did all that, didn't work. Okay, so then you have the next one is PTP. That's Private Tom Private. Okay, which stands for Picture Transfer Protocol. On your phone it is a USB connection mode that allows you to transfer photos and videos to a computer, making your phone appear as a digital camera to the computer. Okay, it's kind of cool. Oh, and by the way, there's something else cool I found on this phone, which at first I'm like, oh man, I don't know how I'm going to use this. It is, sorry, I'm going to go left field, but it is called, uh, oh shoot, I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry. Hang on. It was Oh, okay. So, it's got audio sharing, um, which is it lets people listen to your media, along with you, basically. So, like, if they have to have, like, the headphones. So you've probably heard of these new things popping up. They're kinda corny, but they're disco clubs. I think that's what they're called, something like that, disco something. Anyway, and you go there and they give you a set of headphones, and you can watch videos on YouTube of them that people just dancing around with headphones. You don't hear no music. It's all in the home. And they're all like, it's like 50 or 100 people just dancing around, and all you hear is like their feet. It's really stupid. But anyway, no, this isn't the same thing that I'm talking about, but it's kind of like that. In order to have something that big, you have to have a huge like system, whatever, to run all that stuff. With this, you can have maybe one or two people, and that's about it. Because of the something to do with the bandwidth or something. I don't know, you gotta have power. Anyway, um, so the other thing listed on here was the below PTP was the webcam, and then you have no data transfer. So, but I tried them, whatever, and didn't work. Right? I don't know why, but it don't work. So it kind of sucks. So frustrated. So frustrated. Mm. So let's see. Am I leaving anything out? Restarted the phone. Let's see. So restarted the phone, cleared the cache. By the way, on YouTube, there when you go into settings, you got to click on your channel, and then you go into settings, the little gear looking thing. For those who don't know what that is. And anyway, there's tons of things listed, but there is nothing listed about permissions, because that's what you have to do. You got to have permission to do your thing. But that's where it reverts back to on the phone settings, the actual phone settings. You go into the app and you click on your YouTube app in the settings and you give it permission, which I've done. So I'm at a loss, man. I mean, I'm just, you would think after doing all that stuff that it would work by now. It should have worked halfway through all that. But no. My head hurts. My head hurts so bad. Just, oh my gosh. So stupid. Oh, and so then I am leaving something out. So two of the AIs said, oh, you might want to look into downloading it's a free app, okay, but it allows you to do what you're trying to do. So you download it and it runs with YouTube, whatever, and allows you to use your external microphone and all that. I'm like, why? Why would that's is so stupid? You don't need to do all that crap. You should be able just to go on there and it should. You shouldn't have to, you know what I mean? Shouldn't be like new default. Stupid autocorrect. But yeah. So anyway, that's what me and the AI have figured out, that it's narrowed down to it's defaulting the microphone. Um, uh, now I've tried this with YouTube. I have not tried it with. I don't even know if I can try it with TikTok. Have TikTok, have Instagram. Can you do it with TikTok? Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. It's hurting my head. If anybody can figure it out, you're God. not God, but a God. You know, because I mean that's. Yeah. I'd hate to drive all the way back up to the store, because it's pretty far away. So I'd hate to do that. I hate to go all the way up there. Excuse me. Sorry. Just for that, just for that guy to be like, yeah, you gotta do like this. Click. There, it works now. Like, mother. Yeah. Because when he allowed that studio, I was like, man, I thought YouTube Studio was connected to YouTube. Well, apparently it's not fully. Apparently not. So, So I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about something else. Let's change the subject. What do you think? So, one of the things that I, usually like to do is look up celebrity birthdays. Celebrity birthdays today. No, we ain't talking about TikTok, YouTube stars. God, why is that even on here? Anyway, Johnny Cash. Would have been his birthday. He died in 2003. He will be missed. Yeah. I got a birthday coming up, March 22nd. So feel free to, give me a shout out. Presents are good, but I don't even care about presents anymore. Like with Christmas, I don't care about presents or anything. I'm more about food and family, the two F's. Food and family. That's the two best things that you can have. We used to have a huge family. We used to have like 40 people in this house for Christmas, man. Miss those days. Of course, you couldn't breathe. It was only like 120 degrees in here. Yeah. So who are these people? God. Okay. So Greg German turned 67 today. He's a TV actor. Look him up. Why do they have like Instagram stars on here and YouTube stars and all that? Like, why? Nobody cares about them. Michael Bolton turned 72. Yeah, y'all old now. Oh, man. Who else? See if I recognize. I'm just looking at their faces and see if I recognize anybody. Ed Quinn turns 57. He's a TV actor. I recognize his face. DeRay Davis turns 43. He's a comedian. I've seen him before. Bill Duke turns 82. I think he's dead. I think he died. Yeah. Let's see. Who else? That's it. It's all the celebrities. When I say celebrities, I mean like actors, big time people, So, because they're the ones that really matter. Anyway, so let's see what's another thing I like to do is see what's going on in the news, and now that me, I'm not into politics and all that crap, because that's all it is crap. But I mean, there's a lot of people who like that stuff, whatever. But let's see here. I know there's World War III going on over there in Mexico. Mexico is malo. Oh man, it's so bad over there right now, dude. They killed the head cartel, and then next thing you know, like all these cartel members are just going nuts over there. They just I guess Mexico is is a third world country, I guess. I mean, growing up here in the US, I've always kind of known Mexico as like a third world country in a way. Just poor, cartel runs everything, yeah. So there's also the whole thing between, Iran, yeah, it's us against Iran and all that. Here's another thing too. I don't know if anybody's even thought about this. They probably have though. But so Trump sent like 1,500 troops into Mexico, and wasn't it Mexico? I think it was Mexico. Yeah. So now, don't get me wrong. I know we have a ton of freaking military troops. Army. You got Marines. Navy. And the Air Force, and then some. I mean, you got some you probably never heard of, like Black Ops stuff or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, but so it's like, you start some trouble over here. This is one thing I wonder if anybody's ever thought of. So you start some trouble over here. Sure. So we're, then the good guys are like, all right, man, we're gonna go over and kick their butt. So while they're over there, the infiltrators are over here, where the good guys just came from, and then they're going to start some crap over here. You know what I'm saying? So that's actually a war tactic. So it's basically like, there was like some old Indian tribe, men, women, children, everything. And so they heard, hey man, there's something going on over there. So they sent all the men were like warriors and everything. So they went out there, and when they got back, all the women and children were dead. They were all slaughtered. So it was like a war tactic. So while they were over there, it was fake or whatever. And the real bad guys came in, cleared out all the family and everything. And all the dudes that were over there on, if there was any, they were all left, So yeah, war tactics, whatever. I think a lot of the stuff is scare tactics too. Speaking of which, scaring us to, us people that aren't in the military, scaring us into going and, buying food supplies and all this and our arms and all this, you know, and everything. And don't get me wrong, it's good to have stuff like that. That's the case. But it's there's a lot of people that overdo it. Look at the toilet paper pandemic that came, and people are just like going freaking nuts. And by the way, I've actually seen people selling in bulk toilet paper on Marketplace. I saw it like 2 days ago. I don't know how the hell it popped up on my feed, and I was like, why did that pop up on my feed? But it was like bulks, and those were the a-holes that came in and bought it all up and everything when everybody else wanted, like, hey, can I get like 2 or 3 rolls? And you see these people pushing like 2 carts out at the same time with it. I tell you what, man, there's too many sheep out there. It's irritating. But that's what if all that was just, it was all fake? What, I mean, in other words, hear me out. What if that was just something that they're like, hey, we're gonna see what this does as an experiment, right? What if it was an experiment on us just to see what we do? There was nothing. There was no shortage of paper, toilet paper, or anything like that. You know, what if it was just a experiment? We are mice. That's what we are. We're mice in a little maze, and the government does experiments on us. You know, with our food, you know, with our land and all that. Well, it ain't our land. So basically, I've always said this: you don't own your land. If you're paying taxes on it, you don't own it. You renting. You might own your house, but you renting that land. You renting that lot. A lot of people don't think about stuff like that, but I do all the time. You know, my mind goes 90 miles an hour every day, nonstop. Hell, even when I sleep, it's still like, yeah, still going. A lot of times when I sleep, I get a lot of my ideas, good ideas, right? I had one. I was sleeping. I've had people tell me, "Hey, I don't dream." What? You don't dream, dude? I dream every night, right? Like I wake up, write a book every day. But anyway, I had one other last night, and I remember it. And everybody knows who Mr. Beast is. Everybody's heard of Mr. Beast. Most people have. Anyway, he comes to me and he's like, "Hey man, you got an idea or something you want to share with me?" And I was like, "Yep, sure do." And so I came up with this idea for like a how to take your Jeep Wrangler. So I have an '89 Jeep Wrangler, and turn it into a uh, armored car. Like, yeah, man, you got these plates, man, that you already have something on there, and when you're ready, all you do is just go choo 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 choo. You just put all these plates on it. You know, kind of like magnetic plates or something. You just be like choo, 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 put all the, you know. I know, I know, I know. Oh, so okay, viewer discretion advised. So I heard something today. I heard or saw a thing. I was flipping through the phone. I was dead scrolling, you know. And all of a sudden I seen something come up about Ellen DeGeneres. And when I saw the first thing of it, I was kind of like, come on, man. It's like one of those weird ads or whatever. And I started flipping it and I seen another one. And I was like, come on, man, what? And so it was saying that she was a vampire. And like I said, viewer discretion advised. Okay. Please. But I'll try not to be too nasty. But it was saying like she does what vampires do to the little ones. And she also she had something to do with the death of her wife, girlfriend. I can't remember her name. Anyway, she had something to do with her, and she ate her. It's pretty messed up. But it's weird to see not one but two ads on that. It was, I mean, call it an ad, but it was like a thing, and you click on, you watch it, whatever. No, I did not watch it. No, I don't need to see crap like that. Um, do I believe that there's such people out there? Oh yeah, yeah. I pretty much think that if first of all, nothing's impossible, especially when it comes to this life, this planet. Um, nothing is. Um, is a lot of stuff exaggerated? Yes, it is. Um, but let's see what we can find. And I was looking at trying to see if I can find an entertainment as far as like the entertainment biz, stuff like that. So now Jennifer Aniston, dude. Sorry, left field. Jennifer Aniston, man. Does she don't have kids, does she? That's why she looks so freaking good, like she is. I hope she's not a vampire. Oh man. But yeah. uh, um yeah. Oh, I would like to give a shout out to so an old friend of mine died here recently of cancer. He was battling it with chemo and all that, but it didn't do anything. It didn't help. It maybe prolonged it just a little bit, and that was, he might have got a year by doing it. Old friend of mine I used to work with, Charles. I used to work with him at AutoZone. So shout out to him. Hope he's doing well. I know he is. I know he's no longer in any pain. Last time I saw him, he was holding death's hand. So he looked really bad. So that was, he was a really cool dude, man. He'd sit there and tell me stories about him being in Vietnam. And he used to fly, helicopters in and out, rescue and all that. And yeah. And then he got on, I think he was working with the sheriffs, flying helicopters, flying people in and out of certain areas. And so really cool. Yeah, really cool. I mean, you had to be there, to sit there and hear his stories, and everything. And he used to fly, was it Huey's? I think it was a Huey. Yeah. And I remember one time I showed him. So they have this video game I like to play called Far Cry 5 on Xbox. And so I showed him the part where you fly the helicopter in it and everything, which is really cool. And he got tickled when he's seen it. He's like, what the heck is that? So anyway, he was totally against airplanes, which was hilarious. Like, really? You don't like airplanes? Heck no. Don't fly no darn airplane. You crash them darn things. He was that typical, like, old dude. You know what I mean? Like, the dying breed. They just, yeah. He would just sit there and just tell you all kinds of stuff. Yeah. I think you own a farm. Yeah. Yeah, there's other stories to that I don't want to share. I'll just keep those to myself. But anyway, he was really cool, and yeah, he will be missed. But I think he was probably like pushing 80, somewhere right. I don't know. He was somewhere right in there. Smoked like a train. Yep. Which I don't even know if that's what actually did him in, though. I think and the stuff that they did to people in Vietnam, from the stories that I wasn't there, but the stories that I've heard about what they did in Vietnam, I think that's where they had Agent Orange and all that. And, it's all kinds of, you know, chemicals and, whatever. If you know anybody that was in Vietnam, talk to them if they'll talk about it. Some guys won't talk about it. Some guys will just be like, yeah, I won't talk about that. That's like my dad. My dad he was in the German Korean War, and one time I was playing Call of Duty. I was in my room here playing Call of Duty, and Dad come walking in because Mom was she was in the next room vacuuming, so he couldn't be in there with her and his TV and everything. So he come in here and sat down on the couch. And he's like, what is this, a movie? And I'm like, no, this is a game. He's like turned and walked out. I was like, come here and stay with me. But anyway, stuff like that, was funny. But Dad would never talk about the war or anything like that. No, not with me, at least he wouldn't. Every once in a while, if something happened around here, he would say something. I can't really quote, but he would say something around about like, there was this guy in there and military and blah 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 blah. It kind of reminded me of that, or or something like that. Whatever. I have a coin collection that he gave me when I was a kid. That he brought back from the war and all that. It's a bunch of German and Korean coins. There's some American coins in there too, whatever. It ain't worth hardly anything, but it was really cool for, when I was a kid. I remember seeing this little pouch. And mind you, I was probably like 12 years old and had this little bitty, remember the little coin purses that you twist the little top and it opens, So he had one of those. I have it now. But anyway, I remember he had it. And he's like, check this out. And it had like all these coins stuck down in it and everything. And I was like, ooh, check that out. Ooh. And I remember getting them and like cleaning them up and everything so I could, see what they were or whatever, stuff like that, whatever. But I have it now. But like I said, none of it's like worth hardly anything. So, not like it's not like a worth a fortune or any crap like that. So, which sucks, but yeah. And I thought I had a coin collection when I was a kid. I don't know what happened to it. So it went bye-bye. So yeah. Let me know if your comments, if y'all like collecting coins or if you like collecting anything at all, So let's see. I'm still looking in like entertainment, see if anything pops up. Anything with Will Smith, I do not care to see. Ever since the slap heard around the world, I was kind of like, okay, I'm just done with him. Don't care anymore. Y'all ever heard of Sylvia Brown? She was a psychic. She died. Her son is probably around my age, and he's still like, I guess he's a psychic also or something. I don't know. Look him up. Shoot, I can't remember his name. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you. His name is Uh, Chris, Dufresne. Dufresne? Dufresne? I don't know. Anyway, um, why isn't his last name Brown? Oh, so anyway, so I was watching some old videos of her. Now, I've actually had old friends of mine who will remain nameless, but they were kind of like on the psychic side, medium side, whatever you want to call it. And they said that Sylvia Brown was full of crap. Anyway, I'm just going by what they're saying. But anyway, she's really fun to watch though. Like some of her old stuff. Usually she's when you see her, she's on that show Montel, and it's like a talk show. And she's sitting there talking to the crowd and everything, and like to do like all kinds of different stuff. It'd be like, oh, missing persons, like one woman, she'll stand up and be like, yeah, my dad disappeared when I was a kid. You know where he's at or anything? And like it's just real questions like that, and Sylvia, she'll just be like, no, he's not dead, and you don't want to know where he's at. It'd be like, stuff like that. It's funny, it's not funny, but it is. It's kind of like, dang. And she's like, I mean, she's straight and to the point. She don't beat around the bush. She's like, yeah. She'd be like, yeah, you don't want to know. He's a bad guy. It's funny though. It's like, dang. And they'll be like, oh, okay, thanks. And they'll sit down. It's hilarious. Oh god. But yeah, they have a lot of missing persons on there. Like, the people will stand up and be like, hey, yeah, my daughter's missing or whatever. And she'd be like, yeah, they're dead. They drowned. And here's the thing, from what I've been told, as far as, psychics and mediums, whatever, they don't like to give bad news. I don't know if it doesn't feel right to them, so just next time you meet one, you probably want to be careful what you ask. So, unless you run into that one, it's like, I don't care, whatever. I think my question would be like, what's the winning lottery numbers? But no, I don't think it don't really actually like work like that. But some of them are BS. Some of them just, they just, there's certain little ways that they can work their magic, in other words. Right. But anyway, she's the best one though. She's the best one, I think, that I've watched. And she was a long time ago. I think it was like back in the 90s, something like that, when she was on Montel, I think. Yeah. But yeah, really, really fun to watch those old ones. So yeah, I like them. Let's see, missing persons, and some of them have updates where she's actually been wrong, and it's like, oh, you were wrong about that. What's going on? So I guess, hey, she can be wrong. Whatever. Who cares, right? It's television. So yeah, there's people will ask her financial questions like, hey, where do you see me in 5 years? And she'll be like, you'll be in banking or something, some corporate crap or whatever. Oh, okay, cool. And what that does is just puts a light bulb in the person's head to go that way. That's like an old trick, Jedi mind trick. These aren't the clones you were looking for. So anyway, let's see here. Well, looks like we are out of time. So if you're just now tuning in and you want to see, what I've been talking about before, just stay tuned. Maybe tomorrow, the video will post, and then you can go back and rewatch or whatever. And please leave a comment, you know, because in the beginning I was talking about I have a microphone issue, and I need somebody to help me. I really do, because I've tried everything. Obviously, I haven't tried everything because there's that one thing that's missing that I can't figure out. But anyway, please like and subscribe. Yeah. And stay tuned for a whole lot more. And hopefully, make the channel grow and we'll get big. Been going strong so far. So, yeah, cool. I have other channels out there too, but you'll have to find them. So, anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. Take care. See y'all next time. Thanks for watching Broke TV 1, 2, and 3.